And welcome to another homeless training. My name is Carl Hetler. I'm the coordinator of homeless outreach, and we're grateful to have Dustin Kuminecz, who is a certified peer recovery specialist and our outreach prevention specialist with HealthPlus Indiana. Dustin, welcome.
Hi, good morning.
Glad you can be here. To start,
Thank
tell
you.
us about some of the core values of HealthPlus.
HealthPlus has a mission to support and enhance the health and well-being for the people of Indiana in a safe and inclusive space. Um, we provide care and collaborate with other organizations to integrate behavioral health, social programs, total wellness, um, to improve the quality of life and the opportunities for individuals and their families in our community, and working on and just improving the health equity of all the communities in the state of Indiana.
That's wonderful. So when you talk about total wellness, what are some of the elements that encompass the total wellness of a person?
Definitely, for me, total wellness is finding a balance, which I'm working on. I think for me, as a person in recovery, I stack my time, so I try to stay busy and do really meaningful things, but I'm also trying to work on my own mental health and finding things that make me happy and rejoining social circles and having a good time and just trying to, uh, I think it's just enjoying your life, finding a way to enjoy it and making sure you're seeing your doctor and taking care of your mental and health and having food and eating correctly. Those are things that we find are hard to address when people are out on the street.
Yeah, and that's our theme for today, talking about encampments and what the work that Health Plus does when you go out on the street. So tell us a little bit about when your outreach teams are going out on the street. What happens?
Well, we do 11 counties, and we are, of course, based out of St. Joseph County. We do outreach, prevention, and treatment for STIs, HIV, Hep C, syphilis, gonorrhea, and chlamydia. We do care coordination, trying to get people's prescriptions and link them with housing, whether it be through one of the community partners that we work with. Um, when we go out, we have a regimen that we follow. We look at what's happened there before. We debrief on uh, statistics and how much we handed out there and who we saw there. And when I started here, I did a color coordinating thing. And although we have markers and points we reach for our grant funded programs, I decided that I was going to do it in a way so we could collect more data if we needed it eventually. But it also showed us how many people were here this day, how much did we hand out, what is the cycle in this, can we see patterns? And so it's important for us to just be prepared and make sure that we're um, looking around and listening to what they need, what they want, and who's around.
How long have you been doing this work with Health Plus, doing outreach?
I've only been doing outreach for about a year and a half. I have a lot of lived experience
Hmm.
in ways, um, but I feel it's a great reward for me to be able to be a part of this. It keeps me happy and healthy to help other people, and it's just every day I wake up happy. And what kind of job gives you the tools to go out and help people every day and let people know that they're cared about in a city where we really do care about people and we just want to see the best around us.
Absolutely. So over the past year and a half, what sort of data trends and changes have you noticed in the outreach work you're doing at encampments?
Um, the data is all over the board, really, I feel, when it comes to people that are living with trauma, people that are living with substance use disorders, people that may be housed but just go on the streets to engage in using substances. Um, it's a very weird dynamic. I will say that in all of the counties, St. Joseph County has the greatest milieu in terms of friendliness amongst the people, gratefulness, genuine care amongst the individuals living on the street for one another, and putting themselves at risk to help and support one another, especially those who may have fallen through the cracks of being put on a waiver for cognitive impairment or somebody who has a physical vulnerability, like being in a wheelchair. So that camaraderie um, is definitely inspiring to me. And yeah, That's what we I feel like we just I kind of am losing my question. What was the original question there? I'm
Just about
squirreling.
any trends that you've seen, any
Oh, trends. Okay.
changes over the past year and a half from the data.
In the last year and a half, well, I think if we look at overdose out in the community, looking at it being a systemic, I feel that it has a lot to do with the demographic and who they were. And I can't, not sure what I can share specifically, but what we do know is we're not reaching the people that we need to reach. And we need to implement programs um, that some community partners have implemented, like quick response teams and critical care for people that need it in the moment, meeting people where they're at and not denouncing anyone for using or being in a mental state of way. We all have been there, and we all needed people to tell us that we're cared about, to move on and to access resources and be encouraged. And I think that those reaching certain people is really difficult. But those trends, uh, I feel they're just a substance called bromelain in our supply recently. Um, so just a lot of different things that change dynamics. Also, who you see one day in one spot, maybe they're going somewhere else the next day. Maybe they've made a friend. Maybe it's the beginning of the month and they got their check and now they can go stay at somebody's house because they're bringing a substance with them. All of the dynamics and variables change. And so it's really hard when you're doing something like following up in community health work because where are they going to be? How much time do you have to go and reach out to them? And can you rely on other team members who see them in the community to say something? And for me, it's a little bit difficult because I'm part of a clinical environment. I have to prescribe to HIPAA. So my coworkers and any other individual doesn't need to know anything about that individual that they don't need to know. There are challenges, but like I said, the demographics I feel are kind of across the board anymore. Like you see all cultures, all races, all relationships ending on the street. Like it's everybody. It's a people problem.
Yeah. So there's a diversity. There's not one group that's being most affected or most vulnerable, but it's impacting everyone.
I think historically, African American males are the most affected.
Mm.
Um, they are part of a large group of individuals who receive the least amount of mental health services. Um, they don't get their prescriptions filled on the street. They don't have the encouragement by peers, people that they can identify with. A lot of people see me and I'm a happy middle-aged, I hope middle-aged, kind of maybe hopefully polished and put together guy. I'm trying my best. But they don't realize that I've been on the streets. I've slept on concrete. I've sold
Yeah.
drugs. I've done everything I had to do.
Yeah.
So they can't identify with me until they get time with me. But when they saw me, we remanded to dismiss, to walk out the back door, and they knew that I struggled. They knew that I struggled along with them, that they rolled the pipe in front of me and actually engaged an axe behind my house that I was living in. But I took them food. I helped these individuals, and they saw me emerge out of my own problem. And because of that, I've developed a really great relationship with individuals downtown. They know that I'm not fronting, that I grew up in the hood and I grew up with family in Granger. I've been everywhere and I've been cultured and I've been around. And for me, in outreach, putting myself in their position because I've been in it has really helped me in recovering stuff,
Yeah.
substances to be tested, things like
And
that.
you have that lived experience that can help you build trust and connection. For other agencies and people who are going out to talk to people or working in encampments and don't have those lived experiences, what are other ways that people can build trust and connection to people with substance use disorder to be able to deliver services?
Well, I think one unique thing that my coworker Mike does, and he's part of the dynamic duo that you see downtown. We got shirts, kind of goofy, but he is fortunate enough to be able to just go take $100 out of the bank, and he takes the kids, goes to the Dollar Tree, and he takes arts and crafts out to the people on the street. He takes them health and beauty stuff that makes them smell better, like perfume. not just a bar of soap that I'm handing out, something to give them a little bit extra push and care and self-care, emotional care, something that makes them happy other than a substance, maybe trying replacing somebody's markers that got stolen. Or so he does those kind of special things, and I think that really develops trust. It also teaches his children those special values about caring for your community. And I enjoy being able to just on Christmas night, I went out by myself. I know I'm not supposed to, but I did because I saw cold people on the street. I didn't have anything going on. If I can go do that on Christmas night and give them some of my gifts and warmth and tools to help them survive a night that should be one of the most special nights of the year, right? And they're fighting just to survive frostbite. So I think just being genuine, going out there,
Beautiful.
meeting people, treating people like they're people and not an illness. I went from a great life to down in the trenches back to even more amazing life. I'm happy every
Yeah.
day. Every day I'm
Yeah.
happy. Yeah,
That's a great encouragement for us to think about how we can be genuine and treat people as individuals and not based on whatever they're dealing with.
for sure.
Tell us about the new outreach program that you're doing with Dr. Susanna Lagunas from HealthLink, because that's very cutting edge.
From HealthLink and HealthPlus. She
Yes.
is employed here at HealthPlus. We are trying to develop, actually, we're not trying, we are doing it, an outreach program to help individuals who are living on the street where there is a disconnect of continuum of care, making sure people are given an opportunity to get their prescriptions. And that's the great thing about working at HealthPlus. I absolutely love working in the social work realm. I have now 2 family nurse practitioners that I can refer to. I have testers, treatment, prevention items. I have a pharmacy that prescribes or that provides the medications to be filled. So I come back here. I know someone's in an encampment. They don't want to leave their stuff. The nurse practitioner is with me, writes a script. I come back, fill it, take it to them, maybe even pass them a note from if they have the case manager here, or I have to be very conspicuous because I do prescribe to clinical expectations of OSHA and HIPAA. Sorry, HIPAA, not OSHA. Well, OSHA too, we have to be safe. But we, when we go out, we are trying to hit those health markers that we see in outreach. We are trying to help with skin integrity, filling prescriptions, resources for mental health care. We do offer that here. We have 2 now therapists, and pretty soon we will have a 3rd. So it's great to be a part of an organization that has all of those resources available. But we are really trying to go out once a week at this frequency and trying to establish just how are we going to follow up, what our CHW protocol will be. And it's a new thing. And it's a new thing that's long overdue in our area to help with continuing of care. But that's, like us going into the jail now, that continuum of care is necessary. And so is outreach medicine, especially in St. Joseph County, where we have a elevated population of individuals that have a multitude of different things. And when you look at situations like somebody who has a mental health illness, who should be on certain antipsychotic medication, maybe for seizure disorder even, but then they also have HIV or need to be treated for PrEP to maybe stop HIV because they know that they're participating in substance use and subsequent reckless behavior. So, I mean, certain medications for psychiatric care don't work with certain HIV meds, right? So we're not taking anything. We're taking drugs to forget that we have HIV. We're taking drugs to forget I'm on the street. Like, I may have seen a doctor proactively. I didn't have follow-up, but I was told I was undetectable. I was off a substance, living with my family, doing great. I was undetectable, and this is formality, not me, just for instance. So I think I'm undetectable until something happens, and then I start using substance, and then I'm no longer undetectable because I forget to take my meds. And now I'm out doing inappropriate things with several different people, especially depending on the substance, and
Right.
that creates reckless behavior. So um, I think that hopefully with going out and doing this with a medical provider Lagunas and having CHW to follow up or two, that we can really just keep a continuum of care going and
Yeah.
really work. In this last year and a half, I've seen a beautiful partnership develop. And to be a part of the St. Joseph County Drug Free Partnership, serve as the co-chair on the Substance Use Recovery Board, and to be a part of the unofficial outreach program is awesome because it's so much information, so many valuable partners in the community. And that's something that I definitely push is we're not out here trying to do something or take something away from anyone else on a program level. We're out here all trying to do the same work to do the right thing for people. I don't care who does it as long as it's getting done.
Right.
Because these people were once my friends in that drug culture. Now they're my friends because I care about them. They know that.
Yeah.
And
Who are some of the other agencies that you see doing good work with encampments, going out and working with people on the street?
several right now. It's an awesome thing to see. Definitely Deborah Stanley and the team at Imani have a great outreach. The individuals with downtown South Bend, they have a great team. Oaklawn's outreach team. Um, even is it Our Lady of the Road and Broadway kind of have
Yep.
a group. I've met with some of those individuals, great individuals, very optimistic, just looking to do the same thing, get people help, get people in the right direction to improve their health and see better health outcomes and just live a life that they deserve and not being going from one moment to the next, just figuring out who can you sleep with just to take a shower or
Hmm.
who can I trust because I know I'm going to pass out. I've been going really hard for 6 days and I have to find somebody that I may have to do something with that I don't want to, but they're not going to rob me of my last piece of my baby blanket or a picture of my grandma that I'll never see again.
Yeah.
Like though that constant worry is exacerbated when you're on certain substances. And that's
Right.
what you do all day. You try to just figure out how to meet your ADLs. And so if we can go out and do this, we can provide medical care, we can provide any care to motivate somebody. I'm gonna do it. And I'm happy to be a part of this team. It's really after what I went through and was charged and have a felony, to be back in this and to prove to my community I'm better on this side of it. And
That's
anybody
right.
who I've encountered from my past, I will work with you in a professional environment any day. You're worth it any day. I don't
Yeah.
consider us friends because when you're using substances, people aren't your friends. It's not about you, it's about the substance. So um, they can become my friend. And I always have an open door, open arms, even if they need a hug. I'm just, I've been there. So
Yeah.
um, it's
It's
important to,
beautiful to see what's changed in your life and how you're helping impact other people's lives, and to see that impact of that cascading effect. That if people don't get that support, how they can put other people at risk too. So you're not only helping individuals, but you're helping the wider community also through all these partnerships.
I'm
That's
very
a beautiful
lucky.
thing and impact that you're having.
Thank you. I love it every day.
We talked about already some of the gaps that you see in services, and you mentioned the lack of quick response teams. Talk a little bit more about how quick response teams would be beneficial for the people who are in encampments, who are out on the street, how that would assist people.
Well, definitely behavior we can see, like yesterday, someone setting their possessions on fire. That emotional reaction. You're taking everything from me, everything I have left. That ability of some places, not in our county, but other shelters who say you can only bring in 2 pairs of socks, or you can only bring in 2 bags. I'm sorry, your clean clothes and maybe your Bible and your cell phone. You're stripped of everything else. You have to go to church for 3 days before you can get a pair of socks, 5 days before you can wash your clothes. Putting limitations on people or expectations to mold them in your likeness isn't going to change them. they need to do it in their way. We meet them where they're at, right? So I feel like there's a disconnect in making sure everybody knows we care about them. I feel that we have to really work to be partners with one another. We all do different things, and we all employ different, unique, diverse cultural people. I work in a most amazing, diverse environment. We do different things, but we have different people in our organization who can reach out to people and who can maybe get them on the right path. Out of 7 people in the last year and a half that I've connected with rehab services, I only know of 5 people, or only 2 of the 5 who have returned to substances. And it's because they're placed in places where they continue to be cared about. They're given direction. It's a correctional process, right? A beautiful thing like dismiss. We work on reentry and then recovery, or upper room, recovery and reentry, right? So we have different places that are adaptable. It's just getting people the tools, getting people to be cared about to utilize the resources. If I give you a book, great, I have some kindling, right? But if I say, hey, Carl, you're really good at this, and I know that you're going to make a difference, and I know that you can do this, that little bit of care might make you, you need spark to create a fire, right? So giving people energy that's genuine and other I just think continuity of care is our biggest barrier, and really just realizing that we're all here to create a better St. Joseph County, better South Bend, a better place for us to look out our windows, but most importantly, a better place for them to have a window to look out of. That's where my heart is um after losing everything, and to be where I'm at now is very emotional, very happy. um I didn't face as many barriers, and I had a lot more support that I wasn't paying attention to. um so you really
Yeah.
just I'm sorry, it's a very emotional thing for me.
No, thanks for sharing. Appreciate
um
your vulnerability and honesty. You're having a huge impact on our community, and it's great to see all that's happened.
yeah
You've helped
it's
you've helped
great.
correct a lot of misconceptions and shared a lot of insights. What else do you want other agencies to know about people with substance use disorder? What other important things we need to remember?
um it stems from an issue, right? It's when we think about most of the issues that developed or happened during our childhood, ACEs, those we think if that was a kid on the street with that substance, right? What if it was a child that you were seeing, and instead of a 54-year-old African American male, you saw a 11-year-old who is living with food disparities, social economic disparities, no access to medication or treatment or mental health care, no support maybe in general. Um, Look at people for who they are is the most important thing. Realize we all have potential. It took me a long time for my cognition to come back, and I squirrel a lot. I warned Carl earlier about that. He knows. um, but my cognition's come back, my feeling, my sensory, my nerves, my body. I've lost weight the right way now. Um, and so uh, I was always me, and a lot of times I couldn't express that. A lot of times I just needed help over that hump of, and that's what it took. I wasn't ready. I wasn't. I didn't address everything I had to address. I went to jail. That got me ready. Writing a list of everybody who I hung out with, and knowing that nobody put money on my books, that got me ready. That was easy for
Mhm.
me to leave the culture. Um,
Yeah.
Nobody video messaged me. Nobody cared when they saw me back online trying to help people get prep and tested. Um, it's sometimes we become so encompassed in fear when we're on the street, and it's exacerbated. Maybe I have schizophrenia and I didn't know it. And
Mm.
now I'm taking methamphetamine, and that's totally making it even more wild. And now I'm wandering through a parking lot, hitting people's cars because they're God knows what. And we need to help these people, not put them in jail.
Yeah,
And if we do have
absolutely.
to put them in jail or incarcerate someone or hold them until we can get levels going, if sobriety is achieved in jail, then that works for some people. Chances are
Right.
people are going to get out and they're going to return to the same people, places, and things. They're going to cyclical behavior. That's what we learn.
And that's something
And
we're working on with the jail staff is to get
yes,
people services so that if they are released to the street, they've got the resources and they know about other housing options, so they're not just left to fall farther down into that cycle.
and that's an awesome thing to be able to go in to the jail and test people and identify who has Hep C and give them, here, Health Plus, we can help you with the treatment for it. The treatment, is about $90,000. The government pays for it once. They're getting out of jail. They're dry. Maybe they've had that thought process of, I'm ready to do this. I'm done with this shit. I get to see my kids. I get a little bit of hope coming out of me because I'm walking out these damn metal doors and the world is your oyster in some ways. There's some optimism there, even if you know you're going back to the same shitty shit.
Right.
You have a little bit of optimism. You're not stuck in a cage. And being given somebody here wants you to have this treatment to be healthy, to move forward. They get there. Hey, what other resources can I help you? Hey, I talked to this person who you were working with at the jail, said you needed help with this. Look what I got. That is the most important thing.
Yeah, it's providing that next step in a
Yeah.
personal, caring way.
Yeah. A warm
Our
handoff.
theme, yeah, our theme for this session is talking about encampments. So, what else would you like other agencies to know about people experiencing homelessness, about what that challenge and experience is like?
Um, it's day to day, minute by minute. Your safety is always at risk. My safety is always at risk when I go out. I'm not scared. I've had a lot of years of training in defense and least restrictive ways of helping people, but making sure that they're safe. Um, but you're always unsafe on the street. Um, if it's not because you're trying to hide a substance, it's you're trying to hide yourself or you're trying to hide your possessions. The last thing you're clinging on to. Your only little bit of hope of being the old you and getting your kids back.
Mm.
Um, those kind of things are things that I see people struggle with. Um, the resources, we can all go out and we can all hand out the same things and give people 50 toothbrushes a week. They're going to end up on the street. Maybe they'll get used, maybe they won't, but there's hope in it. A huge hope that they will take care of themselves. They will. I tell you right now, when I was on the street, my hygiene, that's all well, I did. I would shower
Mm.
and hang out with people. I had great hygiene, but I had access to things. When you don't have access, on the tail end of my journey on the street, I didn't have access to anything. I had a pair of flip flops with blistered feet. I had my drugs, nothing else.
And that's
So,
one of the nice things about Weather Amnesty, which will be starting November 1st at Center for the Homeless, is they have showers that are available so that people can take showers in the evening. We'll continue to have showers available at Broadway and Our Lady of the Road in the mornings, but to have those evening showers are a great hygiene piece that we'll have there at Weather Amnesty.
I love it. I absolutely love it. All the resources that we can give individuals to give them comfort, to give them warmth, to give them any kind of tactile, if it's a blanket, any kind of tangible piece of invited, go out and share those with individuals. The weather's getting harsh and the elements are, we're in Indiana. It could be 40 degrees and raining overnight, and we wake up to 80 and sunny. And
Right.
we drop in 40, 50 degrees in 15 minutes here sometimes it feels. And um, these people aren't prepared. And this last warm kind of front we had, people were, out and about. And then we had this cold snap come in like last week, and we started to see people kind of go into the library? Are people starting to seek refuge or find other ways or means to start getting warmer clothing, and so that they could come out and um, start looking at how they're going to survive the elephants? Like, we can't hand out tents in St. Joseph County. Believe me, I would love to talk to Coleman or a tent manufacturer who has slightly imperfect tents,
Mm,
or even tent material that is flotsam and jetsam they're not using, where I can give them pant hangers,
right.
hang it over a fence, take a pant hanger, clip, roll it under you, you have a tent. If that's what I have to do, that's what I would have to do
Yeah.
sometimes for people. I mean, I work for a company and we have values and we have a mission and I stick to it. In my personal life, if I have to help someone by giving them a tent, sorry, Carl. I'm gonna do what I need to do to give somebody comfort. I'm the rebellious one. Put me back in jail for loving people. But
That is the challenge. It is a challenge we're trying to work through. You're right. There's not easy answers.
it is.
Final
In my
question,
house.
Dustin, is what gives you hope? Tell us about what gives you hope in the face of all these challenges and difficulties that people are facing on the street. What gives you hope?
You, Carl, you supported me the last year and a half. Um, I appreciate you. I appreciate everybody on this call. I appreciate the partnership. Most importantly, Leah here, our executive director, for giving me a chance, for seeing that I really am who I am, that I am me and not an addiction, that they have seen me suffer. They see me come up out of it. They've seen this frown turn into a smile a lot more every day as the days go. Um, I'm just hope is something that was given to me through hard work, because my hard work showed me people who were willing to congratulate and celebrate it. Now, I'm not proud that I am where I'm at because I made mistakes. I'm not proud of it. It really actually is kind of embarrassing and something that I have to process, really. I never wanted CPRC to be, I didn't want on my resume people to know that I'm in recovery. Like,
Mm,
they have to take a chance on me then, right? So my hope is continuing to partner with people and people doing the right thing and people being supportive of one another and acknowledging programs that are good and acknowledging people that are good. And again, you, Carl, thank you for
yeah.
supporting HealthPlus and help and the community. You are the biggest advocate for everybody. So thank you for that. That's hope right there.
Well, I'm grateful that we can work together to care for
Me
people
too.
in encampments and those with substance use disorder and lots of other needs that people have. Thank you, Dustin, for this time
Thank
and
you.
for sharing.
Yeah. Thank you so much.